Saint Demiana. Once upon a time, in a land far away, there lived a brave and devoted young girl named Demiana. She was the daughter of a nobleman named Mark, who governed a beautiful place called El-Borollus in the northern delta of the Nile. When Demiana was just 1 year old, her father took her to a grand church called the monastery of Al-Maymah. There, he offered prayers, alms, candles, and oblations, asking God to bless and protect her throughout her life. As Demiana grew older, she became more and more devoted to God. When she turned 15, her father wanted her to marry, as was the custom in those days. But Demiana had other plans. She had vowed to be a bride to the Lord Christ. When she shared her decision with her father, he was surprised and pleased, and he agreed to support her in her desire to serve God. Mark built a special house for Demiana, where she could worship God in seclusion with 40 other virgin friends. They spent their days reading the Holy Scriptures, praying, and praising God. However, things took a difficult turn when Emperor Diocletian ordered Mark to worship idols. At first, Mark refused, but the emperor convinced him to abandon his faith and worship the false gods. When Demiana learned what her father had done, she was heartbroken. She rushed to him and expressed her disappointment, telling him that she would rather hear about his death than know he had forsaken the true God. Demiana's strong words touched her father's heart, and he repented. He returned to his first faith in God, despite the risk of punishment from the emperor. Diocletian was furious and ordered Mark to be beheaded for his refusal to worship idols. When the emperor learned that it was Demiana who had influenced her father to return to Christianity, he sent a prince to try to convince her to worship idols. The prince arrived with 200 soldiers and instruments of torture. He offered her rewards if she obeyed the emperor's orders, but Demiana stood firm in her faith. She boldly declared her allegiance to the one true God, refusing to worship stones and wood that were inhabited by devils. The prince was angry and ordered Demiana to be tortured in a squeezing press, and then in boiling oil. But each time, God's angel appeared, healing her wounds and protecting her. Seeing that Demiana's faith was unshakable, the prince ordered her beheaded, along with the other virgin friends who stood by her side. They all received the crown of martyrdom for their unwavering devotion to God. The story of Saint Demiana teaches us valuable lessons. It shows us the importance of standing strong in our faith, even in the face of challenges and temptations. We learn that being true to our beliefs can sometimes be difficult, but it is worth it to remain faithful to God's teachings. Demiana's courage and love for God inspire us to be brave and steadfast in our own lives. Just like her, we should never be afraid to speak up for what is right and to follow the path of goodness and righteousness. So, let us remember Saint Demiana's story and strive to be like her, courageous, faithful, and devoted to God in all that we do.
See you again soon. Subscribe, like and share.